I'm just going to say welcome. Welcome to UCF. We're happy to have you. And on behalf of the consortium, we really focus on being places of purpose, and the consortium being FIU, USF, and UCF. And this, when I think about it, this is a purpose-filled room. This is a room that really understands how higher education, quality higher education, can lift lives and change livelihoods. And it's not only about those people. When that happens for them, it changes their community, it changes their family, it changes their companies, it changes our communities. But for me, the most important piece of this is the next generation will never be the same. Their children will go to college. Their children will have opportunities that they wouldn't have had if this generation didn't go to college. So we matter together. In terms of the consortium, we have 2 universities that are number 1 and number 2 in the United States in terms of degrees awarded to people who are underrepresented in higher education, and that's FIU and UCF. Number 1 and number 2 in the United States. Between the 3 of us, we represent 50% of the university enrollment in the state of Florida and 2/3 of the underrepresented enrollment in the state of Florida. To me, that's remarkable. Now, let me just talk about UCF and its partners while we're talking about numbers. By the way, I confess I am an engineer. I love numbers. They're wonderful. So we're at an enrollment right now of about 68,000 students. But when we look to our partners and when we try to make a gross attempt at estimating all the students that are in the state colleges who want to matriculate to UCF, and it's the same for USF or FIU, we produce degrees, high-quality degrees, for a university that would be about 100,000 students. We have about 100,000 students between us and the pipeline. That's why at UCF we're the number 1 source of talent in the United States in terms of degrees awarded. Again, you're not going to find this kind of partnership, this kind of commitment anywhere else in the United States like it is at these 3 universities. And I'll just say, we are all in this because it's the right thing to do. None of us are in this because of performance funding or preeminence or budgetary reasons, because frankly, it doesn't help us in any of those cases. We're in this for the next generation, for these people, our students, in our communities. So let me just talk, first of all, let me just say that I'm very excited to kick off this event, because this event is about partnership. It's about sharing things that we already know work, but maybe you work on one campus that nobody has tried on another campus or doesn't even know about on another campus. It's about learning together, and it's about collective commitment. UCF's program, 2+2 program, Direct Connect, is now celebrating its 13th year. And although it's not the first of its kind in the country, it's often cited as an example. It grew from a conversation in a parking lot, and now it's what I would say is a national model for inclusion, for excellence, and for diversity. But I know, and everybody in this room knows, that there's still a lot more to be done. So hopefully we'll get started on that today. Making the transition, or continue that today. Many of these things I know are already happening. One is to make sure we make the transition smoother and in fact eliminate a transition, if at all possible, through curriculum alignment, through early access to degree audits, and through course outcome alignment. Second thing is making sure that when students matriculate to the universities from the state colleges, making sure that we really attend to engagement and attachment, really becoming part of an existing community, but also forming a community. And then the last one, or the third one, is making sure that we attend to the gap, that there is never a gap in long-term outcomes between FTIC students that start at the universities and students who start at the state colleges and matriculate to the universities. I have to say that a lot of the country is focused on 6-year graduation rates. I'm focused on that only from the perspective of how other people measure us, but I don't really care that much about it. What I really care about is whether the student gets a degree. And I'm going to go off script here just for a moment and share a story that Jeff and Mary Beth know. This October, Bill and Melinda Gates were here, and the night before they had their big day on campus, they were going through data. We were showing them success rates for our 3 pipelines, FTIC, Fully Online, and Direct Connect. And for the Direct Connect, we looked at 4-year after matriculation graduation rates. And frankly, they weren't that great. Something like, I can't remember, so I shouldn't make it up. I want to do that. But let's just say they weren't that impressive. And we know, you know, that those students, most of those students did not spend 2 years in the state college. They spent 3 or 4 years, and they are on a pace that they can reach their goal within their context. They're on a pace they can reach their goal within their context. So we ran the data out to 6 years after they got here. I wanted to run it out to infinity and was told that was not possible mathematically. So we ran it out to 6 years, and we found that our state college transfer students were graduating at 71%, which is exactly the rate that our FTICs, actually it's 1% higher that year, were more successful than our FTIC students, who are absolutely remarkable in terms of their SAT and GPA preparation and so on, and even their family support. So, Bill Gates said, well, you know, if they would graduate faster, they can make more money and get into the workforce quicker. Wouldn't it be better for them to forego working and just finish? And Melinda said, Dale, how many of those are women? And I think it was around 2/3. She said, what's the mean age? And it was around 28 or so. She said, okay, Bill, you may not get the return on the investment in the mother's generation, but you will in the next one, because her children will go to college. And that was a remarkable finding for me. That's why we're here, right? That's why we're here. So let's work hard. Let's work together. Let's make each other better. And let's provide pathways to success for all these remarkable Floridians. Have a good day. Good luck.